April 20th, 2021, I got a text that my grandpa had passed away the previous night to stage 4 lung cancer. I knew this was coming. He had been dealing with stage 4 lung cancer for several years, and I grieved, I cried, and I took that moment of pain and turned it into something. Leading up to his passing away, I had been reading blogs and seeing articles about people running a mile every single day for a year. They would have a running streak. And when I realized and found out that my grandpa had passed away, I decided I shouldn't wait. I knew I was going to do this streak, but I just kept thinking later, after this travel, after this trip, I'm visiting my girlfriend at the time, maybe after that. But I was actually with her at the time, and I had visited, and that's when I got the text, and I realized, you know what, I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm going to start this streak. I decided to do 2 miles every single day, opposed to just 1 mile every day. And I made it 933 days before I was absolutely, completely broken. Not necessarily like physical stress. I'll talk about this a little bit, but I hit adrenal fatigue like I've never experienced it, or maybe it was adrenal fatigue. I don't know what it was. Something where I was sleeping 15 hours when I could. If I had to work, I would sleep like 12 hours, take 20-minute naps throughout the day, be exhausted while I was at work or on calls. And so I knew I was pretty beat up, and there might have been some external emotional or internal emotional and mental stress that caused this too, but a big part of this was the running streak. Now, the first year of the running streak was awesome. Like, of course, I dealt with days where I was sick or maybe hungover, tired from a race or sore. At the end of the first year of the streak, I actually ran 10 marathons in 10 days to honor my grandpa, and then continued the streak for a second year. And so, yeah, I was beat up throughout this, but it was just cool to see myself continue to fight and to get the 2 miles in regardless. Sometimes it meant at midnight because I had to wake up for a flight and be in Vegas at 5 and had to get shower and drive the 2 hours to Vegas before the flight. Sometimes I was sick. I think actually at one point I, was puking and then still had to go run. And so I fought through a lot, and I'm proud of that. And I think some people will obviously say that's too much, and that's fine. It wasn't too much for me. Even the way it ended, I think it was perfect, and it's exactly what I needed to happen. Towards the last couple months of the streak, I was burnt out. I had ran some races and didn't do very well. Like, I had ran a sub 3 hour marathon, and then the following year I ran a 3:18 when my goal was 2:45. So I was beat. And I had this 100-mile race that just didn't go very well. I mean, any 100-mile race is hard, but I just felt myself slowly just break down over time. And mostly I was concerned about the fatigue and how I needed to sleep so much and still didn't feel better. And so I think I got to the point of like just some sort of adrenal fatigue or something like that. So I picked a day to end it. I wanted to end it on my terms. I didn't want to say, you know what, this is the day. I stopped just because I wasn't feeling good. I picked a day a couple weeks away or maybe a week away, and it was going to be 932 days. And then I went for a walk with a friend the next day, and it was over 2 miles. And I didn't care if I walked or ran it. As long as I got 2 miles in, I was happy. 2 miles on my own feet. And so that extended the streak to 933 days. So I'm very proud of it, and it absolutely broke me. and what I learned from it was how amazing rest days are and recovery is. I think a lot of athletes really have a hard time with rest days and recovery because they love their sport, especially the runners I know. They're like, don't know what to do with themselves on their day off. I know what you do. You do yoga, you read a book, you hang out with your friends, you meditate in the morning instead of run. Maybe in the afternoon, instead of working out, you go for a walk. Whatever it might be, there's a lot to do in life on your rest days, and I think your rest days and recovery days make you better. And so here's what I learned, or really, I guess, a mindset shift for me is I really appreciate my days off now. I think initially when I got into running, I was similar where I was like, what do I do with myself on my day off? Throughout the streak, I didn't have a day off. And then as I recovered from this extreme fatigue, I got back to my baseline or some sort of homeostasis. And now with my training for a 50K and a 100-miler, I really do appreciate the 3 days I have off from running or the 2 days I have off depending on the week. And just to be clear, it's not like fully off. I do yoga and stretching. Sometimes I lift, or sometimes I do absolutely nothing. but for the most part, my days off are like 30 minutes to an hour on the bike, and that feels like active recovery. It feels good. I don't feel like I'm training. It's pretty simple. I don't pay attention too much to my wattage or how fast I'm going on the bike. I just go easy, enjoy it, don't push too hard, and I've really started to enjoy my days off. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be challenges I do where I do streaks or I run across the country someday, probably years from now, but there won't be days off until I'm done. And I'm all for the David Goggins mentality of get after it, no days off. I love that. I've just decided for me what I like and what works for me, and I think you need to do the same. And maybe you need to go through a long streak to prove to yourself what you can do, or maybe you don't need that, or you've already done it and you need to appreciate your recovery and rest days more. Regardless of what it is, I hope you got something out of this video that you find applicable to your life, and that's what this channel is about. It's about running. I want people to learn from my mistakes, be able to set PRs, and overall just deepen their relationship with running, because it's quite literally saved my life, and I don't know what I'd do without it. I'm sure I'd figure something out, but man, is running such a beautiful thing, and I hope you can see it the same way I do. So, if you like that kind of stuff, consider subscribing, and if not, I still hope you got something out of this video, and I hope I get to see you in another video sometime soon. Peace!